All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on What the Sheet. And in today's episode, I'm going to do kind of a quick overview of the Skil 6-tool combo kit that I just bought from Amazon. Off the top of my head, it was something like $380, $400, something like that. I'll make sure to put the price on the bottom of the screen. And then I also bought, in the background here, I got the little Skil 12-volt radio, playing some music on my iPad while my iPad's actually being charged by the Skil 12-volt battery with the USB charging. So like I said, this is going to be a quick overview of all the tools that came with the kit. And then in future videos, I'll go over each tool kind of individually and like test some of the tools against other stuff that I have. So for example, like the drill, I'll test against the other drills, and anything. If I have another tool, a similar style, we'll test it out. I'm just going to go through what all comes with the kit. So you get a 12-volt drill, the 12-volt circular saw, which is a 5.5-inch saw, the right angle impact driver, which is this guy right here. So it's just like a regular impact, but just a little bit slimmer style. You then also have the multi-tool, which is this guy, the cordless inflator, which you can do basketballs, car tires, and like pool inflatables, which is pretty handy. You get the area light, which is this guy, which has got 2 modes. You get 2 batteries. You get a 2 amp and a 4 amp, both of the USB charging. The jump charger, so this is the charger where if you press the button when the battery's dead, it'll do the 25% charge in 5 minutes, and it has a built-in USB charging in the charger itself. Came with 2 belt clips for the drill and the right angle impact. Came with the blade for the saw. Some attachments for the multi-tool, so you get 1 blade and the little triangle adapter with some sanding pads. It's 12-volt inflator. Battery just slides on the back here. So we'll put the 12-volt battery on here. Power it up. And it's very similar to my Milwaukee 12-volt inflator, which is hiding back there on the shelf. And like I said, I'll do a head-to-head with a lot of these tools if I have something similar. Controls, almost identical to the Milwaukee. The positive arrow will make your tire pressure, your target pressure go up and then down. And then pressing basically the play pause button turns it on and off. And then it'll just ramp up to that target pressure, and then once it hits it, it'll shut off automatically. On the side here, you've got your hose, which is already set up for like car tires or bike tires. So you can just slide that right on and then clamp it down. And then you've got a needle valve, and then you got this plastic valve here, which is good for like I said, like pool inflatables and stuff like that. And everything all fits nicely in this little package. And then it has these foam feet, so when it's actually going, it's shaking a little bit from compressing all that air, it's not going to walk away on you. Moving on to the work light. So here's the work light. I don't know the exact degrees that this moves to. Let's see what top. I think it's like 400 lumens on full power. Like I said, I'll put the exact details on the bottom of the screen. But it's got 2 light modes. So that's full power. Click it again. That's half power, whatever. And then there's off. So if you're working underneath your car or in like a utility room, you could set this up, put it on, and let's say it's you don't need a whole bunch of light. You put it on the second mode, and you probably get a couple hours of light from this little LED lamp. Very comfortable to hold. And with the 2 amp hour battery, like these slide pack batteries, you get a nice solid base with it. Very similar to my Milwaukee 18-volt light. All right, moving on to the circular saw. So this is a left-handed bladed 5.5-inch circular saw, which has max cut depth of, I think it's an inch and, inch and a half, just over inch and a half. So in theory, you can cut 2x material with this. I will do a standalone video on this saw, and we'll see how many cuts I can get out of it with just a 2 amp-hour battery on there. And then this also came with the dust port for it, so this should fit my little vacuum there, or I have the hose for my drop saw or my track saw. That attachment should work on here too, so we can also test while we're doing all those cuts how well this does with dust collection. This is brushless like all the other Skil tools, and it's got the Allen key to change blades on it. It's all probably pressed metal plate. It looks like you can get an edge guide for this, which would probably come in pretty handy for a little guy like this, because this would be perfect for ripping down sheet stock, for doing small little strips of stuff. So I'll have to look online and see if I can order the little piece that goes here to do the edge guide stuff. But other than that, saw is super light, and it's got a soft start feature, so you depress the safety, whatever, and pull the trigger. And then it's got a nice LED light in the front there to light up where you're working. Overall, I think it's a good fit for what I need it for. Moving on to the multi-tool. So we'll put the battery in this guy. And this is basically your standard multi-tool. This whole piece right here is actually the light for the tool. So instead of having like a regular tool where it's got just a single LED spot, it's got this kind of, I don't know, it's almost like the ring light for the impacts. It's just, a quarter or a third ring light, which is kind of nice. Tool change, pretty simple. You rotate this dial or this piece around, and then it pushes this piece out on the front here. And then if you have these kind of half moon or 3/4 piece things, all you have to do is just slide them in, put them down, and then flip this lever back around. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. And then you're attached. So like even the sanding pad, you don't have to take this metal piece off, but all you have to do that is unlock it, do like a 1/8 of a turn, and then it slides out and you can put on your full coverage or your full circle piece, which is nice. It's got a dial to control your speeds. I do believe it's 10 to 16,000 RPMs on this guy, or 11 to 18,000, and 3.6 degrees of oscillating angle. This also has soft start. And then as you can see, that this whole area lights up nice and bright. So when you turn it on, you get a nice lit up area of where you're working. And then as all multi-tools, you can change the angle of this. It would almost be nice if they found a way to put this light all the way around, or at least to about here on either side. That way if you're working kind of at a side angle or something like that, you'll have light all the way around. But other than that, it's a good tool. The controls are in the right spot, so you just have a slide switch for on and off, and then your speed controls right here, so it's easy to get to with one hand. You're not having to fiddle fart around with both hands to get the it adjusted the way you wanted. Next up is the 1/4 inch impact, right angle impact. So this is basically identical to a regular impact gun or drill driver. So this is my other Skil impact. So on the ends, they're identical. They both got the quick change collet, ring lights, all that jazz. The only difference is really how slim they are. And I don't know if Skil gives you Okay, so yeah, it says 900 inch-pounds of torque on this guy. 0 to 2700 RPMs, 0 to 337.50 impacts per minute. 900, they claim 900 inch-pounds of torque. It actually spins a little bit faster than the actual impact gun itself. So what I'm going to do in the future is I'll actually do a head-to-head on these and see which one of these puts up more torque and which one's a little bit more usability. The main reason I wanted this was for working inside of cabinets or stuff like that, putting in screws. Being able to just reach in with one hand like this and put screws and stuff like that in just makes it that much easier versus using my Milwaukee installation driver or this guy. There's not a whole lot to this besides, you got your forward and reverse right here, and then in the middle locks the tool. This is kind of annoying because it's the button for it's really recessed, so you have to kind of get it with the side of your thumb. You can't just hit it flat. Like even pushing flat, you're not able to activate it, which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, with it having a big paddle trigger like this, you don't want it to accidentally roll over and activate itself. So that's understandable, I guess. Trigger is really nice having that variable speed on this. You do have a bit holder on the back here, just like the regular impact gun. So that's kind of nice to have. And then this one's got the belt hook, so you can throw it in your pocket if you need to, or if you're working on something like that. All right, so like I was saying, compared to my other drills that I have, this guy, I think it's going to be a good kind of in between. It's going to be slightly bigger than the M12 just because of the battery, with the way the battery works. The M12's the batteries are like a pistol style, so they go up into the handle, versus this is the slide style. But I can stand it up even with the small battery on there, which is something I can't do with any of my M12s. Even the installation driver, as soon as I put a bit in there, it wants to tip over. So basically everything gets laid down, versus my Skil stuff, I can stand up on end. Even these guys, with them being so tall, when you put a battery in them, you can stand them up on end, which is really convenient. Saves a lot of workspace. I also got this radio. This isn't part of the kit, but it's a nice little 12-volt radio. So you can either use their 2 amp or their 4 amp hour batteries in the radio. On the back side here, the 2 amp hour is probably your best option because it sits flush with the back. So if for whatever reason you wanted to lay this down like this and have the speakers facing up, you can. But it does, like I said, it also works with the 4 amp hour batteries. It just will obviously give you more runtime. And then on the back side here, you have this little rubber cover, and it's got a USB port and an auxiliary cord port, and it does come with the auxiliary cord. And then for controls, very super basic. You have a power button, your Bluetooth connect button, and then your volume up and down. And then you've got speakers on the sides and then a big one on the front. And volume-wise, it's not going to blow your eardrums out, but it's also not very quiet. It's not quiet either. So like if you're outside having like a bonfire, or maybe like out on a boat or something like that, or on a job site, like in a room, this is more than plenty loud enough for you to hear the music, and it doesn't get all distorted and stuff when it gets super loud, which is nice. Okay, so I'm switched the microphone around on my camera so it's facing towards where the lens is looking, and I'm actually going to turn the volume up on the radio to max to kind of show you how loud this thing gets. So as you can see, it gets plenty loud, and then once you max out your volumes, it'll beep at you, let you know you're maxed out, which is kind of nice. Size-wise, it's okay. Here's my hand. my hand is a little bit longer than the radio itself. It's about, I would say, probably 7-8 inches across. Compared to impact gun, it's a little bit smaller. So good size if you wanted to put everything in, for example, like the Milwaukee pack out system. This would fit in there no problem, and you could probably get all of these tools in one of those pack outs if you packed it just right. Yeah, so that's going to conclude this video. I think I've gone over everything enough to kind of get a general idea if you maybe want this or not. I'll put a link for the kit and the radio in the description as always, and then in the next few weeks here I'll start having videos of all the tools that I can compare with other tools that I already have, just to see kind of where they line up value wise and power wise and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.